Welcome to Tech Turks. Today we have the pleasure of Bright Okocha, aka Basket Mouth, man with sweet personality, depending on when you catch him. I've been seeing you on social media and we've been seeing stuff that you've been doing, leveraging on technology, especially in this time of COVID. I'd like to just start off by asking you, just telling us quickly your story, the story of Bright, how you became Basket Mouth, and right till today, and then we can just go deeper into the conversation.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for having me on the show. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. It started about 22 years ago, back then in Uniben. Then, I didn't know it was going to pay off. People started offering me money, because I was busy, or I was, I didn't have time for them. They're like, no, we can pay you. I'm like, you can pay. Then eventually I'm like, okay, these guys are paying. Then it became commercialized. Everyone got into the comedy industry. Anyone that was interested in it, if you're a comedian, they wanted to jump on it. And it got crowded. At that point, I was like, okay, Bright, it's about time you step out. So we enjoyed it for a straight 10 years. And then I started noticing a decline in terms of the attendance and participation from the audience. And I said, okay, you know what, Bright, it's not the way it used to be. So I started tilting towards online. So that's my journey.
How are you using, in the face of new competition because of access to information, how are you differentiating yourself? How is the, Basket Mouth IP completely different from everybody else? What makes you stand out? How do you keep ahead of the game?
Okay, so we when we started, we didn't have access to technology. So if you want to perform, if you want to be famous in Enugu, you have to go do it yourself. So you can't just be in your house and record, upload, and someone in check.
In Enugu in 2005.
You remember we went to Enugu?
That was brutal. You have to carry everything.
So we had to do those people, they couldn't see us. So we had to go there and do. But now you can just record, post, and everyone will see it. So I started from that point, and I saw the progression. And when the online content started building up, I saw, even before it got online, I was opportune to have seen in living colors with the Wayans and all, the Kenan Wayans and all. And I saw they were creating content. And I was like, it won't be bad if I can make content, create content, short skits, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'd already been thinking about it, but there was no platform because it was just TV that we had, perform on TV, because I did live TV shows as well on NTA back then for just 7 minutes, so we did all that. But it wasn't enough because we wanted something that we can give to them. We don't have to be live there. So when the online media started, I had an upper hand because then I had seasoned myself with doing it live, where if you make a mistake, you are going to be punished right there on the spot. So you have to be spot on, you have to be thorough, you have to be very, very technical with your delivery. So now that we can now create it, edit it, put effect, put all these things, it makes it even easier for myself. And I'm very, with my kind of comedy, my type of comedy, I play around it when I create content, because I tell stories I don't just crack jokes, I tell stories. So you will never know the end of it. And I also translate that into my content, which is probably one of the reasons why it looks like it stands out, because I never go straight to the point. I always it's almost impossible to understand or tell where I'm going to.
What's the next step for Basket Mouth? It just can't be stand-up comedy, and it has to be, it's taking it to another level. So what is the platform that you are building to take or to scale the Basket Mouth brand?
Yes, what I'm trying to do right now, the next step is for me to create a space where people can just come and spend time, just the same way Because sometimes people want to watch their favorite show on TV, but they have to wait till they get home. Yeah, and even if they record it on catch up, they have to still get home. Yeah, but if I create the same content and I put it on my platform, yeah, you can have access to it whenever you like. So the platform I'm building is a platform that's going to be like a TV channel. I'll create, that's where I'm going to. That's like where I'm evolving into. And right now, I think I'm almost there.
So let me ask you another question. And you are a content provider, and that's your maker. You create content. You're a content creator.
Yeah.
And so from my own perspective, so that you can correct my own perspective, your content is on the entertainment side, and sometimes you border on the thought-provoking side. As a content provider, there are many businesses that would require your content. Before, I think the industry has been involved. Before, it would be a case of, okay, ambassador, just come and tell them how fantastic my brand is and just promote it. And I think people have seen beyond that now. You have to be more creative and sell a story. One last question. How has COVID affected Basketman brand?
I can only thank God. So this is what happened. Last year, when I promoted my Lords of the Waves, when I did 2 dates,
yes,
I promoted the show for 1 month, from the end of, I think, 30th of August till the 30th of September. I was strategic with the timing, and I knew that I needed 3 months for proper shows. If you want to sell out 2 dates, so I amplified the hype. Like, I brought everything I had into it, and I barely sold out. Yeah, with everything that I put into it, one would think that I would have sold out in 3 days. Now, the people that actually come out to our shows are the people from the mainland. Those are the ones that are really, really, those are the core fans. I'm sorry, but I have to be real. So now, there are factors that are limiting them from coming down to the island to go down to watch shows. The time of the show, they will have to, like, the cost is even too much. They have to sleep in a hotel and all that. So last year, I told my guys, they were like, CDCS show will probably be my last show for now. I want to start pushing things online. So I said, this one in Nigeria is probably my last show for. And when I did London Jokes and Roses, I actually announced it that this is my last London show. Why I announced it was because I was like, after this, everything is going online. I didn't even know that it was going to be a lockdown. So we had already started creating content. So Sunday Night Laughs was already being created. I had gone to meet the brands. Yes, I got to see Guinness. I was like, guys, I want to do this. Papa Benji, I went to tell them. So they were like, they liked the idea. The day of the lockdown was the day they approved it. So when for you, so it favored me. So when everyone got locked down, I got approval because I'm still like pressed. We got approval like flatmates and all that. So we were still working with multi-choice and all that. So I used the opportunity to create the content and all I needed. So when there was an opening, we started recording, minimal audience and all that. And before anyone could know it, boom, it was out there. And so I took advantage of the fact that I'd already gone, you understand, online. I was already ahead of most people. And the luck I had was I'd gotten brands on most of it, including MTN and all these guys. So I'm one of the people that you favored. So yeah.
I can see, the other bright side of life and
bright side of life too.
And even the production quality is one that says, reflects that you have certainly invested in that capability. And people are staying at home, so they need to watch something. After a while, you can't watch everything on Netflix, and they need some Nigerian content. Basketman, Bright, thank you for coming on Tech Turks.
Thank you very much,
sir. And
thank you.
We will continue the conversation offline.